Let's march on. Let's march on. We didn't get to look at everything, by the way. I forgot to look at the player stats for the season, which Mohamed Salah absolutely dominated the league with 37 goals in 44 games, which is unbelievable. Shout out to Coutinho with 24 goals. I might have to bring Coutinho back. If he's going to do that well, I might have to bring Coutinho back to Liverpool because holy shit. Top assist man, Trossard and Haaland with 12 each. We only had Thiago up there with 9. Clean sheets, Alisson with 14. Love to see that. Yellow cards, Zaha and Tielemans with 8 each. Thiago had 7. We had a couple of guys up there with multiple red cards, including Antony from Manchester United. But yeah, with that, let's actually, who was the top scorer in the Champions League? Gonçalves for Sporting. Sporting didn't make it. Yeah, they didn't make it. They lost in the semifinal. So let's find out if I'm going to get fucking fired. We'll also find out who won the Champions League, so on and so forth. We do get a loan offer for Reibringer, sending him out to Demirspor. They are not looking to bring him in full time either. So I would gladly accept that. Chilson, it would be fun, but also those ideas are always difficult to actually put together. Granada are interested in Calvin Ramsey. I'm not interested in it if it's an offer to buy. So they need to accept the loan without an offer to buy. Yeah, they're not willing to do it. They're not willing to do it. Player chat. Patrick Heath, by the way, welcome. You're going to be an absolute cheat code. It's going to be hilarious. We do get a transfer offer for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain from Bilbao. He wasn't all that interested in hanging around, it looked like, as a depth option. He was kind of complaining about playing time at times this season. So now would be a good time to move on from him for $12.5 million. They're willing to do 11. I'm going to counter at 11.5. There we go. All right, so it looks like we'll give Ox a chance to move out to Spain, even though Bilbao don't bring in people from outside the region, typically. But we'll see if Ox moves on to Bilbao. Tried to get $15 million for him earlier in the season, so 11.5 settling a little bit, but it does make sense. Does make sense to move on from him. Reibringer has been moved out. How many people are normally out for pro clubs? A lot. 6, 7, 8 typically. So Sydney will be out on loan next season. I am okay with that. We needed a nice little kind of project midfielder. Good with moving him out for now. Sending my boy off to fucking summer camp. Have fun, Sydney. You'll be back. Have fun in Turkey. Oh, God. Heard someone with a voice that sounded a lot like yours at work today. Do you live in Toronto? Because I have a friend in Toronto who said the same thing when he went to a store. So, walking him out like he embezzled millions. It's the perp walk, you know? So, for 12 months, Sydney Reibringer will be loaned out. We'll be covering 100% of the wage, but that's okay. So, we'll see you later, Sydney. We'll see you later. Adrian will be leaving the club. Let's take a look. Do we have it confirmed on who will be playing where next season? Let's take a look at the standings. Just a resemblance. Glad I figured out. I don't know. Common voice, I guess, huh? All right, let's find out. The Europa Conference League was won by Lech Poznan. Poland, you finally got one. The Europa League won by PSV. The all-Dutch final. They beat Feyenoord on penalties. And the Champions League winner, Benfica. No surprise. So Benfica eliminates Salzburg. I don't think I have a way to actually look at the playoffs outside of our league. Aston Villa over West Ham, Chelsea over Manchester United. So it'll be Chelsea against Villa. Winner joins us and others up in the higher league. So Manchester United will spend another season in League Two. And it is confirmed, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is off to Spain. Apparently it was a terrible negotiation, which makes no sense. I could have made $200K more. Fuck your rating system. I accomplished a goal for the season as well by moving out 3 players, so that's huge. So we move out Ox. It completes a goal for the season. And it also does him a bit of a favor because he wasn't going to play here. And he didn't want to play that depth role. So I'm okay with that. So Ox is gone for that 11.5. We do get a loan offer for Heath. It's a loan offer with an option to buy. Considering he's already worth $6 million and is going to be worth a lot more. Let's negotiate this bad boy. I am willing to have it be a loan with an option to buy. I am willing for it to be a 1-year loan with an option to buy. I'm willing to take the wage split. That's fine. However, 5.8, no. How about $50 million? You want to loan him out for a year and then buy him, you can pay me $50 million. Piss off. Try to fucking just swindle me out of that guy. Get the hell out of here. So these new scouting reports, first month of them, we are going to count these as our brand new options this year. So let's take a look. South Korea, we have Dong Sung-ryu. He's terrible. Hong Gil-hong. We'll sign him for the moment. Min Jae-oh. Shout out to Cody for the bits. Yang Soo-sin, Sang Hun-ko, and Seo Jun-jo. Well, there was one good South Korean in that option of players. Argentina, Simone Moyano, Lucas Hurtado, Eduardo Alonso, Alfonso Marin, Hernan Crespo. Yes. Yes, sir. For anybody who doesn't get the joke, Hernan Crespo is one of the best. I don't know. Do we say one of the best Argentinian players of all time? I would say some people would argue that, certainly. And now we're going to recruit his son. And now we're going to... How confident are you in those Korean pronunciations? On a scale of 0 to 100, -12. We will be signing Hernan Crespo Jr. Daniel Sandoval. We'll also sign him for the moment to the academy, and Fabricio Costa also there. Our final report from Japan, Atsushi Nishimura. Daichi Nishimura, also terrible. Masato Ishikawa, Taiyo Ishikawa, Ichizo Takahashi, Takumi Sakamoto, and Naoto Watanabe. Not a single great option for us to bring in there. But we do get our first new additions to the academy that'll count for next year. Crespo already a 53 to start off. High-low work rates. He can't do much except he's got decent pace and dribbling, so honestly, leaving him as a striker is for the best. Just let him develop as a striker just like his dad. Sandoval as well. Cody with more bits. And I agree with the message. Daniel Sandoval, great physical player, decent pace. Not great at much else. Honestly, with him being so physical, him as a midfield player makes a lot of sense. Center mid's honestly perfect. And then Hong Gil-hong. We have yet to scout Canada. He's got good pace, good physicality. Medium-low work rate, though. I like the pace and the physicality. Yeah, honestly, a left back. Oh, no, left back doesn't really... Honestly, with the pace and the physicality, the work rate's not so great. He's only got a 3-star weak foot. I can't imagine this guy will ever be signed. Probably have him as a left wing and try to develop him that way. But yeah, it's not looking too pretty for him right now. Hernan Crespo is certainly our top option, no doubt. Let's go back and double check the team stats, by the way, for the season. Totally forgot to do that. 44 appearances for Salah and Trent. Salah with 37 goals, 18 goals for Diaz, 15 for Jota. It really dropped off. Henderson scored more goals than Darwin Nunez. Nunez only had 3 goals in 16 games, which was pretty rough. Firmino had 1 goal in 6 appearances. Thiago was our assist king. Average rating was an 80 for Salah. Alisson with 14 clean sheets on the year, though. Was fantastic. What I want to take a look at is the squad hub here. So we know that Adrian is leaving. Alisson won't be going anywhere. Quivin Kelleher will not be going anywhere. We are going to need a younger goalkeeper. Don't quite know who that's going to be. It could just be Jaros if he comes back from Stockport. It's funny how many of these guys end up playing in the Premier League out on loan. We'll see what happens, actually, with some of these guys. Who stays, who goes, that type of thing. Advance a little bit more. Progress assessment, fuck you. We know Adrian's leaving. I'm intrigued to see if we get a chance to manage Canada on an international scale. Who will be joining ourselves, Spurs, and Manchester City? It's Chelsea. Chelsea beats Aston Villa. So Liverpool, Spurs, City, and Chelsea. That is so disappointing for Villa after the season they had. But there you go. Chelsea will join the top 3 there. Back in League One next season. We do get a transfer offer for Phillips. 4.9 million from Wolfsburg. I mean, he's a depth option for me right now. I actually don't know if I want to get rid of him at the moment, so I'm going to outright reject that offer just until I can assess what the team looks like starting next season. Again, we know Adrian's leaving. Cody's just going nuts with individual bits. It's going ham. All right, some scouted players left. That's fine. Nobody too good. And we are just about off to season number 2. There's no fucking way they can fire me. I accomplished so much. I don't know how my grade hasn't gone back up. Like, I accomplished a crucial, critical goal for them this year. We won the league. Like, I better see that rating bounce back up for next season. All right, so Arthur's going back to Juve. We got a lot of players coming back from loan. This will really give us a chance to put our own spin on this team and decide kind of who stays and who goes. Pretty happy with that. Let's officially end our season in League 2. We are on the way up. So we will be back for season 2. I will have to take a lot of the goals for the season seriously. So, Achilles, yeah, we can get fired. You can't turn it off, unfortunately. It's one of the big issues I have with FIFA Career Mode is you can't turn off firing. So you got to play it a little bit careful. You just, you can't necessarily do just everything that you want to do. Not Bobby, no! Oh, no. Oh, it's terrible. Roberto Firmino on his way to Spain. So many great years here. Ugh. I do feel like it was a mistake, but with that fucking guy that we got from the youth academy, it had to be done. James Milner retired as well. So here we go. Preseason tournament. We'll go to the Asian Elite Cup. The highest potential prize money. Oh, Nick, it's terrible. It's terribly depressing. How the hell has my rating not gone back up? Jesus. They're just going to hold this over my head all year, huh? Smartwatch. Thank you for the 6 months. Appreciate you. I am stoked for the game. Liverpool haven't played in like 28 days. It's nuts. Yeah, my rating should go back up. This is some bullshit. This is some bullshit. I am not happy. I am not happy. It better go back up, though. So let's take a look, then, at the leagues now that we know. And the big one, I think, was whether or not Bayern Munich, and they did. Bayern Munich also makes it back to Bundesliga 2. So yeah, they won their playoff. That was the big one. Imagine if they had lost, but they didn't. Fair enough. So now we get to set up everything with our squad for the year. Our objectives, by the way. So youth development within 2 seasons have at least one player from the youth academy signed in the first season playing 30% of the games in the next season. So that pretty much means that young striker that we brought in is not going anywhere. Heath is not going anywhere. He will be a crucial part of this team this season on the second team to make sure he plays a lot. Expand the club in Asia within 2 seasons, which I'd imagine would just be sign an Asian player, right? In terms of growth. Financially, increase your club worth by 15% through player sales, competition prize money. I mean, that should be fine. That looks glitched if it's still on 0% based off the fact of what we sold Firmino for. Win the league title, win the FA Cup this year. And we're in the Europa Conference League, and they want us to win that. Okay. Okay. So what we can do is I didn't necessarily want to rely on FIFA, but we might have to. Unless, yeah, because in terms of search player, I'd have to sit here and search every Asian country, which would just be a massive pain in the ass. Because on FIFA, which again is a phenomenal site that I don't like using too often because you can just tell who the best players are, we can just search the Asian continent and see who the hell is out there. We can sort it by potential in this instance. But based off of what the game counts as an Asian continental player, which includes Israel, of course, yeah, we'll have options. So I will go ahead and scout out a couple of these players based off of what I see us needing within the squad itself. So to the squad hub we go. Goalkeepers right now, Allison going nowhere. Kelleher going nowhere. And honestly, Vítězslav Jaroš is pretty much going nowhere. It doesn't go anywhere. Achilles because it's one of our goals. Given out by the board. So we're going to keep Jaroš on the team this year. At least as a third choice keeper. I can't imagine us re-signing him, though. We'll probably just keep him as the project goalkeeper, third choice for the season, and then let him go at the end of it. Unless he has a crazy performance. But, yeah, I can't... I don't know. I don't see him being... He'll be a low 70s at best. Maybe mid 70s. I mean, you got to figure. Kelleher's 3 years older, 8 points better. So... Giles, I doubt, will still want to come here, is the problem. That is the big issue with someone like Harvey Giles right now. He's still with Harrogate. He doesn't want to come here. You know, because he is technically still on a Premier League caliber team. So he doesn't want to come here. So yeah, Jaros, we'll talk about re-signing later on. In terms of left backs, good, all of them are at least left-footed. So, I mean, there's Beck, Tsimikas, Robertson, and then there's James Norris. Norris's deal is up in 12 months. Robbo's obviously the starters. Tsimikas is obviously the cover. I mean, Beck is 20. So is Norris. I don't know if Norris has great potential, but Owen Beck's the guy to keep as a third choice option. Yeah. So let's look to move out Adam Lewis. Let's look to move out James Norris. And I'm going to try to loan out Owen Beck for now, and then we could recall him if he's needed. Which honestly might be the same thing with Jaros, except his contract is up. It's a little bit different with goalkeepers than it is with left backs, though, in my opinion. Yeah, we probably should keep 3. Left back wise, though, yeah, try to loan out Beck if we can. For center backs, we got a lot of options here. We got a lot of options. Obviously, Big Verge is our number 1. And if we take a look at our pairings here, it is Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahim Konate. Ibrahima Konate as our 1-2. Our second pairing is, for the moment, Matip and Joe Gomez. So then in terms of the depth, we pretty much only need 1. It is worth noting Matip's deal is up at the end of the year. I might still be transferring him out. Sepp Vandenberg's up to a 73 at 21 years old. Honestly, he needs to be here and he needs playing time. I think we could look to move out Matip for good value. I think we could. And then we got Billy Meteo and Reece Williams. And Williams is only 1 point better than Billy, 2 years older. And then there's Anderson Arroyo, who's also here to 71. Arroyo could be kept as the depth option. I think what we're going to do is try to move on from Matip. Let's keep him loan listed. I like Nate Phillips, but I think we try to move on from him as well. Run Gomez and Sepp as our second sheet option on defense, with Arroyo behind them. If that was the best option, even then we could look to move out Arroyo. Move on from Matip, move on from Phillips, keep Gomez, move on from Arroyo. Honestly, I think move on from Arroyo as well. Konate goes nowhere. Sepp goes nowhere. Let's immediately delegate his contract renewal. Actually, let's negotiate a new contract for Sepp here. See what we got. See what we got, Sepp. Still wants to be a prospect, which is perfect. 5-year deal? Okay, 2-year deal. It's not the worst. No release clause is perfect. And honestly, we'll give him a little bit of a raise. 10K? 10K a week? Perfect. All right, cool. So Sepp is sticking with us, which is very nice. Chilson, yeah, probably one more. All right, so Sepp's going nowhere. Reece Williams can go. Virgil stays. And honestly, keep Billy as like the project center back rather than Arroyo. So we could loan him out if need be, but to be honest, it's kind of like goalkeepers. I think we'll keep Billy around for the sake of training. and see what he can do. But yeah, I don't see much of a future for Reese. Or we'll try to loan Billy out, but he's not going anywhere. Yeah, Williams, Arroyo. Basically, we'll try to move certain players out. If they don't go, then shit, they don't go. Right back wise, Gusto still our cover behind Trent. Then there's Ramsey and Connor Bradley, who are both looking pretty damn good, to be honest. I don't want to get rid of either of them. We'll try to loan both of them out, but they can both stay for now. CDM. Honestly, I don't really have any desire to get rid of Tyler Morton either. Let's just delegate that. 1-year extension. Done deal. So Lepanant goes nowhere. Let's try to loan out Tyler Morton. Fabinho goes nowhere. Whole lot of midfield options. Thiago's deal is up at the end of the year. Ox is already leaving. Hendo goes nowhere. Leighton Clarkson's deal's up at the end of the year. Jude obviously goes nowhere. Rybinger's going out on loan. And then there's Balagizzi. Balagizzi, perhaps. Fucking Balagizzi. So it's Thiago, Bellingham, Henderson, and maybe even Leighton Clark. Curtis Jones. That's who. At Cam. So Thiago, Bellingham, Henderson, and Jones. Honestly, I think I'm intrigued in keeping Leighton Clark. Let's delegate that re-signing. We will try to loan him out. Rybinger's already going. We'll keep Balagizzi as well for the moment. Especially because Kane's still on loan at TFC. Left wing wise, Harvey Elliott's not going anywhere. Diaz isn't going anywhere. Cade Gordon could be loaned out again. Right wing side, Salah goes nowhere. Fabio goes nowhere. And then the strikers. Jota's turned into our number one, for sure. Max Waltman, it's not looking too good. We know Firmino's leaving as well. Patrick Heath can go nowhere. We need him to play to accomplish that goal. So he is going to be our second team striker this year, as insane as that is. Peter Baker will be loaned out. Darwin Nunez, to be honest, is going to be loaned out. Glatzel isn't going to cut it. So Jota, and honestly, we'll try to get rid of Max Waltman as well, if we can. But yeah, Jota, Heath, and then whoever doesn't go. But yeah, it's going to be tough for Waltman. He's been jumped by Heath and Baker. So I think that's our setup for the moment. In terms of where it makes sense to acquire, you know, someone who might be able to help us out here in terms of where they play and expanding our horizons in Asia, as they say. I mean, I do have a shitload of center backs that we have to try to move out. Another center mid wouldn't be the worst option in the world. Do you make money when you loan somebody out? No. So if we were looking for a center mid or a project right wing, I think we got a couple of options, and I know who I want to go after. This is the final thing that we have to do to round out things tonight. So Kubo is going to be too good as a project. But there is... Oh shit, I thought that would be much easier to find him. There is Kang. I'm guessing Kang Seung-jin. 20 years old out of FC Seoul. Does have a release clause. We'll have to scout him out in a minute. There is Takahiro Nakai, who is with Real Madrid. We won't be able to get him. In terms of center mid cover, I mean, Kubo for Sociedad, but what about Kanya Fujimoto. Could go for him. 24 years old. Literally just bring him in short term. There is also Lee Kang In. Lee Kangin. From there, it drops off a little bit in terms of quality. There's this guy that plays for Celtic. Look to bring him in. And then, yeah, after that, it gets pretty shaky. So I'm thinking one of those three. Now, I don't know for sure if this is the way to, like, oh, this is how you improve your impact in this region, but it would make sense. I should have just removed Giles accidentally. Honestly, I mean, maybe we will complete the prophecy one day of bringing in Harvey Giles after that ridiculous performance, but not at the moment, at least. We also need to go over to our scouts and properly recall everybody and clear out the instructions as we'll start fresh based off of what we need. So we got to wait a day or two to fully have us set up for tomorrow. This is going to be all the big transfers that kick in now. All right, so our transfer budget goes up. Twitch, why aren't you cooperating with me right now? Thank you. So our transfer budget goes up by an extra 19 million. Performance review under close observation, no shit. Ox is gone. Firmino is gone. Rybanger out on loan. Let's take a look at our monthly scouting reports here as well. So out of South Korea, Ji-Hoo Choi, Tong Hyun Yu, Il-Song Lee, Pyeon Chol Young, Chun So-gil, Pyong Chol Ryu. Wow, South Korea has been a bit of a bust for us so far. Argentina, Adnan Carmona. Javier Maldonado, sign him for the moment. There's also Manuel Reina. I shall call you Pepe, because you're a goalkeeper. Esteban Bustos, Adrian Costa, Mario Alonso. All right, so still not the best there either. And Japan. Yodo Takahashi, Wataru Ishikawa, Toshi Fujiwara, Kenta Fujiwara, Kai Matsuda. We'll sign him. And then Masato Suzuki. All right, so still not the most promising scouting report so far. Clarkson, I'm just looking at options. 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 Got to keep that morale up, you know? God damn. But I think we are just about ready to switch over to some clubs. If I am indeed allowed to start scouting these players. So one of these four, the exception of Giles, but one of these four, we're going to look to bring in and hope that accomplishes our goal. Let's go back to the Youth Academy. So far, so good for everyone here. Of course, Reina's the goalkeeper. We had Sandoval before on Crespo. So Maldonado, good pace and dribbling, not much else. He has the perfect positions for him. And then Kai Matsuda is also pretty much perfect as a striker as well. You could argue a winger with that extra pace. And the lack of shooting, not that Maldonado's a great shooter either. And maybe we put Matsuda on the left wing here. Just to see if that'll work out and that'll be a better spot for him. So I think we're good. Like, we're pretty well set up for the start of next season. All it is now, when we come back to this tomorrow, is just seeing who stays and who goes as we try to shuffle out a good amount of players. That's pretty much all it comes down to. But the big thing that we need to mark this season is I do want to try to loan out Darwin Nunez because Jota has just totally taken over. I don't see how Nunez gets regular playing time, especially with how Luis Diaz did last year. Patrick Heath needs to be our second choice striker on the year to accomplish one of those goals to stop us from getting fucking fired. But I'm optimistic. I mean, we're in the Asian Elite Cup. Winning that would probably be pretty nice too. But if we look in League One this season, I mean, who do you expect to go up? Top 2 make it. 3 in general go up. Chelsea, ourselves, Man City, and Spurs. 4 teams. Only 3 of us can go up. So this is a season where one of these big 4 clubs who should be in the Premier League hit a wall and don't actually progress. And that's a little bit scary because if it's us, I think we get fired.